Hello everyone! In today's video, we're going over how to do the block stitch in crochet using US terms. In today's tutorial, I was using this Pound of Love skein by Lion Brand's yarn in the color pastel green, as well as a 6mm crochet hook and scissors to cut off my work, though this stitch would work with whatever size yarn and corresponding hook that you may have. We're going to go ahead and get started with a slip knot, which you can do however is easiest for you. And then once we have our slip knot, what we're going to do is we're going to chain in multiples of 3. So I'm going to go ahead and chain 21, but you would just want to chain however many as you need to get to the desired width for your finished project, just making sure that it is a multiple of 3. And to chain, of course, you would just yarn over and pull through the loop that's already on your hook. Again, that's yarn over and pull through the loop that's already on your hook. All right, so that is 21 chains for me. And what we're going to do once we have our multiple of 3, that is our desired length, is we're just going to add 2 more. So I'm going to end with 23, 22, and 23. So getting started on the first row here, what we're going to do is we're going to count the 5th chain from the hook. So not counting the loop that is on our hook, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in this 5th chain here, what we're going to do is we're going to put a double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the chain there, yarn over and pull up a loop. We have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2 of those loops, yarn over, pull through 2 of those loops. And now in every single chain until we get to the end of this row, we're just going to continue by putting a double crochet into each of them. So again, a double crochet, we're going to yarn over, insert into the chain, and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So if you want to meet me at the end of the row once you have a double crochet into each chain, and we can go over how to turn our work. All right, so I have 1 chain left for my first row here, so I'm just going to put a double crochet in there. So yarn over, insert into the last chain, and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And it is fairly popular that people want to switch colors here in order to get something more like this. So if you wanted to have it so that the next row is a different color, right here is where you would switch your colors. So when you have 2 left on your hook, you'd take your new color and you would slip it on, and then you'd snip off this old color. I'm going to continue with this one color for both rows of this. So I'm going to stay and just continue and complete my double crochet. Yarn over, pull through 2. And now, instead of chaining 1, as we've done in a lot of patterns, what we're going to do is we're just going to turn our work, and we're ready to get started on row 2. So in this first stitch here that we just completed, what we're going to do is we're going to put a single crochet. So we're going to insert our hook in there, pull up a loop. We have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2. And then in this space here between the posts of these 2 double crochets, what we're going to do is we're going to insert our hook in there, and we're going to do a single crochet there as well. So we're going to insert into this space and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And now we are going to chain 2, 1 and 2. We're going to count 3 double crochets here, and what we're going to do is we're going to skip all 3 of those, and in this space between these 2 double crochets, we're going to again put a single crochet. So insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And then we're going to chain 2 again to skip the next 3 double crochets. 1 and 2. We're going to count 3 again, counting these posts here, 1, 2, and 3. And in this space, we're going to put a single crochet. Insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's what we're going to be doing until we get near the end of the row. So I'll do it one more time with you. We're going to chain 2. Then we're going to count 3 double crochets from the point after which we just put this single crochet. And between these 2 posts, we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So if you want to meet me at the end of the row, just so we can go over how to finish and turn our work. All right, so you can see I have what looks like 4 double crochets left. So this is actually the excess of the chain that we did. That's counting as if it is a double crochet. So I have chained 2 after my last single crochet. So what I'm going to do is again count 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. And in between, in this space here, I'm going to put a single crochet. And then just like we started the row with 2 single crochets in a row, this one here and the one that's in between this and the double crochet, we're going to put another single crochet into this space. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to count 3 chains from the bottom here, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to put a single crochet into this chain here. So I'm going to insert my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Then in order to turn my work, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and I'm ready to get started on row 3. So row 3 is going to be similar to row 1, though we are going to be working into these spaces beneath us instead of into the chain. So this chain 3 is going to act as if it is a double crochet, and so we're going to skip both of these stitches here, this one and this one, and in this chain 2 space that is above these 3 double crochets, we're going to put 3 double crochets into that space. So yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we need 2 more in that space. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then 1 more. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that's what we're going to be doing for the majority of this row. So we're just going to be finding these chain 2 spaces, and we're going to be working into the space underneath it. So all of the chain 2 spaces are effectively going to be hidden once we have our row worked up. So again, doing this one together here, we're going to be putting 3 double crochets into this space here. So we have 1, 2, and 3 double crochets all into that space. So we are only concerned with this chain 2 space. So if you want to continue by putting 3 double crochets into each of these spaces, and I'll meet you right around the end of the row so we can go over how to finish and turn our work. All right, so I'm at my last chain 2 space for my row. So I'm going to again put 3 double crochets into that space. And then what I have left is I have these 2 single crochets beneath me. So I'm going to skip this one right here, this first one. And in this last one here, which is the last stitch in the row beneath me, I'm just going to put a double crochet into that space. So yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And again, if you were switching colors, this is where you would do it, where you have the 2 left on your hook. but I am not, so I'm just going to yarn over and pull through 2. Then I'm going to turn my work, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to repeat row 1 in exactly the same way as we did row 1. So from here on out, it's just going to be a repeat of those 2 rows, so row 2 and row 3. So if you need to use the timestamps down below, you can go ahead and do that. But if not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work up a few more rows so we can look at the texture of the stitch once a few more rows are worked up. And I'm also going to show you what we've been talking about changing colors. I'm going to show you how to do that for 1 row. So if you need to, you can go ahead and use those timestamps below. But if not, I'm going to meet you once I have a few more rows worked up. I've gone ahead and I've worked up quite a few more rows of the block stitch here. So you can see that each of these double crochets are looking as if they're just in a grouping of 3, which of course they are. And then you have this single crochet in the middle that is breaking them up. So if we want to pull this piece over again that I did, if you are switching colors to have the single crochets, you can see it even more clearly than when you're using one color. But I do just want to point out that if you are switching every color like that, you may end up with a lot of ends to weave in. So just something to think about if you are switching colors. So I am near the end of my row here. What I have left to do is a double crochet into this space here. So I just want to show you what it would look like if you were switching colors here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to insert into the stitch and pull up a loop. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2. And then what you'd want to do with those 2 loops left on your hook is you'd want to grab your next color, the color that you'd be switching to, and you just want to take it and you'd want to put it on your hook like that and pull it through. And you just pull it through like that. So if you were switching colors, what you'd want to do is you'd want to snip off this old color, leaving it fairly long, about as long as the tail that you're doing to switch in the new color, just to make it easier to weave in at the end. But beyond that, what you would do is you would just turn your work and you would do that single crochet into that first stitch and continue this row as normal. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take this out because I want to keep it all one color. And I'm going to meet you again once I am at the end of the other row, just so I can show you how you would switch if you wanted to switch at the end of that row. So I'm going to just do one more row for the single crochet here and meet you at the end so I can show you how to switch that. All right, so I'm at the end of a single crochet row now. So I have this chain 3 here, so I'm going to just continue as if I am not switching colors. So I'm just going to insert my hook in and pull up a loop through that chain 3. And now you can see that I'm already at 2 loops left on my hook. So what I would do if I were switching color here is I would again grab my new color. And just like I did in the double crochet when I switched colors, once there's 2 loops on the hook, I'm going to slip it on and pull it through both loops on my hook. And then again, if I were switching, I would cut my yarn of the first color here, and then I would just chain 3 now, because that's how we would start the next row if we're coming from this side. Turn my work and continue as normal. So if you wanted to switch colors, you see there end up with a lot of ends to weave in if you're switching just for the single crochet row, because you're switching every other row. So if that's just something to think about, if you do not like weaving in ends, or if you have a project that you need to finish quickly and you don't want to spend a lot of time weaving in ends, it's just something to think about. So what I'm going to do now is, again, I want to just have my project here be one color. So I'm just going to continue and finish the last row, which is going to be the double crochet row, just so we can go ahead and hide these chain 2s. So I'm going to finish by doing that double crochet row one more time. and then I'll meet you so we can go over how I'm going to end my project. All right, so I'm at the end of my last row here. I just have one last double crochet to put into this last stitch here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then just what I like to do to end all of my projects is I'm just going to chain 1. And I'm going to grab my scissors. I'm going to cut off there, pull my hook up, and pull tight. And you can knot there if you want to make sure it's more secure, though that is personal preference. And since I only have one color for my block stitch here, I only have these 2 ends to weave in. So I have this end right here, and I have this over here, which is the excess from the slip knot that I did to start the project. But this is my final project for the block stitch. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below, or if there are any other stitches or tutorials that you'd like to see in a future video. Thank you.